Contractee Croselle is the latest unit to release in WoW 15, and like many of the story units, you will need to unlock a specific stage within the new WoW to unlock her full story. So at the point of recording this video, I haven't completed WoW 15.1 yet, so I'm unable to unlock her full story, and that's why there won't be any storytelling in today's video. But nonetheless, that's not going to stop us from analyzing how strong she is, and without further ado, let us see how worthy is Contractee Croselle potentially. Croselle stats ranking based on level 89 heroes are 44th in terms of attack, 3rd in terms of HP, and 69 in terms of defense. So for her attack, it's tied with Mad Panda Trio, and for her defense, it's tied with Nari. However, do take note that her defensive stat can be further bolstered by the likes of the defensive stat from her gauntlet itself. So her defense is actually a lot higher compared to Nari, and she'll be placed somewhere in the middle tier in terms of her defensive capabilities due to high HP as well as a decent defense to boot. Now moving to her other stat lines, she has party buff HP plus 40%, the ability to deal 12% more damage to tanker heroes, so she's very good against the like of Ogma, Arena, and FP to a certain extent, and she also has weapon skill regen speed plus 4% with a 5% shield increase on battle start, as well as a skill damage plus 4%, so she has quite a few lines of additional stats, and overall she's quite a beast in terms of the stats department. Now her primary attack, Lightning Trigger, has two parts. So number one, the Lightning Buster is a charging attack similar to Bianca, and she's able to charge up to 130% and fire a laser at the enemy. But most of the time, I'll still prefer to just tap on the attack button because the charging is very slow and the aiming from the charge attack can be pretty unreliable. And the second part of the Electric Trigger portion, you get a Lightning Shield which creates a 5% shield for all allies and lasts for 5 seconds. And in the arena, right, this 5% shield is modified based on the HP you have in arena, so that makes her pretty amazing there as well. So her chain skill Code Injection is a very straightforward 300% DPS to the enemy target, and her special ability Web Shell allows her to decrease damage taken by battle by 20% and allows her to leave a mark on the target when her normal attack hit to create a 20% shield that lasts for 5 seconds. However, for this part of the ability, it's a bit dubious because the shield doesn't really show in your HP bar, so it's really hard to gauge whether or not there's a shield, but you can feel that Croselle is a lot tankier because she somehow doesn't lose HP that quickly whenever she's normal attacking a target. So I'm not too sure whether or not it's a bug or is there a description error, but this ability does make her a lot tankier, so making her a lot better in the arena setting or the 3v3 setting itself. Now moving towards the EX weapon, it's a must for Croselle because it provides a substantial amount of defense step up to 147 with a 22% increase in HP. And other than that, right, the ability allows her to increase her attack by 25% for 5 seconds whenever she generates a shield. So if you're able to stack between the special ability as well as the lightning shield ability or any other form of shield creation ability, Croselle is permanently at 125% attack. And other than that, right, on hit it allows her to inflict 70% of additional DPS damage, which activates every 3 seconds, so a little bit more damage along the way, right? And she also has a very low cooldown weapon skill called Thunder Rain, where she unleashes a few of thunder on the enemy, and it has a really short cooldown of 6.7 seconds. So this skill is a bit unreliable in terms of chaining the opponent. Usually if your opponent stays inside the field, it takes about 2 full weapon skills to chain them, but in most cases in arena it will probably be 3 or 4 for normal units and maybe 4 to 5 for arena itself. Moving towards the Colosseum side, in terms of Colosseum, I actually try to make her work with my defensive skill damage team full of sustain and heals and shield generation, but I wasn't able to make her work exceptionally well. But I can see that Croselle is a usable unit, but not that top tier because she's universal in terms of her party buff with HP percentage, and she does have a shield generating ability which is really good in a long battle such as Colosseum. and her DPS output as a semi-tank unit is also not bad, so overall she's definitely usable in Colosseum. However, because light teams are very prevalent in Colosseum, so she doesn't really stand out, and she does not offer a super OP weapon skill like Lina nor FP, nor does she have the super OP kit like Kamel, Aran or Gabriel, so she won't be super top tier there, and it's skippable if you are somebody who focuses a lot on Colosseum. Now moving towards the arena setting, Croselle is without a doubt a very powerful unit there to counter the tank units. However, one thing to take note of is that there's actually not a lot of tank units running around, and I think the best unit for Croselle to counter is definitely Arena. Other than Arena, you have Ogma, you have FP, but a lot of the very active Arena units, they are not actually the tanks. So the plus 12% damage from Croselle is not effective more than half the time unless you match yourself into Arena, Ogma or FP itself. So that's one thing to take note, right? She is very OP on paper, but if there's very little tank units being used in the meta, then she might not be that good there. But then again, that does not change the fact that she's pretty decent in the range teams as a defensive buffer, because she has a pretty massive stat and she has pretty decent 1v1 abilities as well. Now moving towards the 3v3 side, as you guys know by now, triple tank is the meta team setup in 3v3. So Croselle is gonna be an amazing unit in 3v3 setting, and if you love 3v3, her team shield generating ability is also very good there. So invest in Croselle if you're somebody who loves to play team deathmatch. Now in terms of the PvE discussions, I think Croselle is not very good in raid nor defensive co-op because she does not offer much to boost the overall team damage, and her party buff is simply not meant for those game modes. However, she does make for a decent substitute tank or heal in your story contents because her skill set has a very short cooldown, which makes it very spammable and beginner friendly for PvE related stuff. Below are some reasons to pull or invest in Contracty Croselle. So how worthy is Croselle potentially? Overall, I'll say that Croselle is not super worthy if you're basing her in terms of versatility in Guardian Tales, because she's only really good in Arena and she's only really good to counter Arena, which is one of the most prominent unit in that game mode. However, if you're a massive PvP player, then she's definitely a top tier pull because her 1v1 prowess is pretty amazing, and being one of the best counter to one of the strongest unit in that game mode is definitely a big plus for her. Nonetheless, I'll still be pulling for Croselle as Tick Ties never lies since Bianca. And that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Do remember to like and subscribe in order to see more content from the channel, and do let me know down in the comment section below if you're pull for Croselle when she's released on the global server tomorrow. See ya in my next video. Bye guys!